The time is now 6:02, and I am going to call the March 17th, 2026 Williamsburg Independent School Board District Board meeting to order. Roll call will be by Kim White.
Kim Williams.
Here.
Roger Faulkner.
Here.
Alan Steely. Donnie Patrick. Kim White here.
The Pledge of Allegiance and the moment of silence by Roger Faulkner.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
We will move on to the approval of the meeting agenda and minutes. Approval of the March 17, 2026 Board of Agenda and the approval of regular scheduled February 17th Board Minute meetings. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We will move on to staff and student recognition. Ms. Housekeeper?
So this month we have a smaller list. We don't have as many student recognitions because we want to highlight in the April board meeting several of our students who are out doing things, big things right now, like our DECA students. We've already recognized them. Our JAG students, and you'll get to see that here in a few minutes. We have 2 JAG students who are who qualified for the national competition, which is in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's huge. So we thought we'd wait and get them to come back. And then we have 2 students who qualified for nationals indoor track and field, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we've got big things happening for our students, so we thought if we just wait a month, wait till after spring break, we'll be able to celebrate those. But we do have 2 very special Go in the Extra Mile awards. And I always say this, but I have to say it again. I love these awards because these are not me giving those awards. These are your peers. And so I want to I'll step out here. First, we want to celebrate Miss Kim Douglas. And so Miss Kim Douglas is one of our special education teachers. Come on up. And she works last year. This is a huge jump. She went from middle school, which I feel like you have to be Teflon, middle school to preschool and kindergarten, right?
Yep.
So talk about an age gap. So let me tell you what one of your peers said, and she included her name. You'll probably be able to figure it out. Miss Douglas is dedicated to meeting the diverse needs of young learners as evident in every aspect of her work and interactions with students. She approaches students with patience, compassion, and a deep understanding of early childhood development. Kim meets students where they are, both figuratively and literally. Say that happens every now and then.
Setting the floor.
Yeah. Whether we are on the playground, in the cafeteria, or working in classroom centers, Kim ensures that every student on her caseload receives the services and accommodations they need to thrive. What truly sets her apart, however, is that her commitment does not stop with the students that are formally assigned to her. She actively supports all learners in the classroom, modeling inclusive practices and helping to create an environment where every child feels valued and capable. Her presence truly strengthens the entire learning community. Ms. Douglas has worked hard to establish and sustain a collaborative partnership with the classroom teachers. Through consistent communication, intentional planning, and aligned instructional strategies, she helps ensure that supports are delivered on time and embedded seamlessly into daily instruction. This approach has resulted in meaningful student growth, increased confidence, and measurable progress toward goals. So, thank you so much for being a leader in our district. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, and the other one is not a stranger to getting a Going the Extra Mile award, which I agree. The next one is for Miss Mahala Rude. Come on up, Miss Rude. Miss Ruth last year was our first grade teacher, and then she braved the storm down to kindergarten. So now she's loving on some of our youngest babies. So Miss Reeves wrote this about you, and she said, Michaela went above and beyond to help with the elementary academic team region competition that was hosted by WISD this year. She spent Tuesday afternoon proctoring a composition exam. Not easy. I've done that before. She then spent her Saturday working registration and serving lunch to students during the competition. She was so kind and loved every student and adult she came in contact with. Michaela is a prime example of what it means to be a part of the Jacket family. I am proud to be her coworker and her friend. So I think that's really sweet and deserving. You're welcome. You really should have worn that dress.
I
So we
know.
could- Oh, wait, sorry. Slow. Oh, you're so slow on it.
Congratulations, and we thank you so much for the work that you do. Do we have any special speakers? Let the minutes show that we have no special speakers tonight. We'll move on to our superintendent report, and my understanding is this will be by our head principal, Ashley Parton.
Yes. So while Ms. Parton comes to talk about our report, so my promise to the board is every month we're going to give you just a status report of what's happening in our schools. And so the November meeting, you heard from our assistant principals. The December meeting, you heard from our teaching learning coaches, or maybe I backed that up a month, I don't remember. But I try to give us just a plethora of options to speak to you, to let you see the alignment in our learning processes. And so Ms. Parton is our head principal. She's the instructional leader of our district. And so what I would like for her to share is just kind of, number one, my prompt to her was to just talk about, we've got our parent-teacher conferences coming up. What are we sharing with parents? This is like our one last chance before we get into the end of the year celebrations to say, hey, this is a learning update on your students. And so I wanted to share that, but then I also wanted to give you a glimpse into what other things we've been working on, and then what's coming up in the spring. Okay?
So I want to share with you first just a few of the examples of things that we have been doing in classrooms to help intentionally prepare students for the KSA exam that's coming up very quickly. So some of these examples, most of these that I've printed for you are from English, but we also have math examples that I'll talk about too. But you'll see a variety of things here, from an on-demand writing boot camp to types of questions that we have embedded into both our summative exams and our formative assessments that we're doing. So on the exam, there are lots of different types of questions that students encounter that, unless you intentionally embed into your assessments, that they might not always see beforehand. So, for example, lots of drag and drops, multiple select. They may have to match certain things. It may require them to do multiple of those steps within a question. And so exposing students to those types of questions on our assessments beforehand helps them to do better on the actual exam. And so there's some examples of those type of questions. There's some on-demand writing, some rubrics that our teaching and learning coaches have worked really hard with our teachers, and we have really been seeing the benefits of those kind of just aligning across the board to what students are going to see on the exam. And so we've been very intentional about not only doing this in English, but also math. Even as low as first grade, you will see our students doing writing journals that are preparing them for, again, these assessments, and you even see the writing portions on the math exam. And so just getting down into those primary grade levels too, of starting to build those skills that they're going to encounter or need later on. So those are just some examples of some things that we've been doing. You will see in there examples from 3rd grade, 5th grade, 10th, and 11th grade. So there's a variety of those in there to review. And then for our Jacket family conferences, I'm trying to reframe that, because really that's what we are here, one big Jacket family. And so in our family conferences that are coming up on the 26th, we really want to give parents a snapshot into, okay, since the last time we have gotten the chance to speak to you, here's an update on your child's learning. So the printer doesn't like me, so I just have 2 copies of this, but you can pass it around. I've done a elementary version and then a high school version. I've redacted the name for high school, but I use my own kid for elementary, so you can just get a good picture, so I didn't feel like I had to do that for his. But there's the elementary, the high school, and then elementary. So basically, this is just what we will be providing to families at our family conferences. So you'll see a report card on top. You will also see a MAP growth report that will show them what they scored in the fall, what they scored in the winter, and then we're going to have teachers also go ahead and give parents their growth goal for the spring. And so we'll get to talk about that exam that's coming up basically right after spring break, the 13th through the 17th. So we'll go ahead and tell them that window, hey, just so you know, we will be MAP testing during this week. Here is your students' scores from the fall, from the winter, and here is their goal for the spring. And also on that MAP report, you will see that second page kind of talks about here are some things that you can do with your child to help prepare them for this upcoming MAP assessment. So there's those pieces. We also have in there for the elementary, just kind of where they're at in terms of all of their assessment data. You'll see a page there that we are going to score students that winter column, and just to give parents an update on multiple assessment points. And then in there for high school, there are a couple of different things. We have our graduation requirements printed off for them. We have our pathways that we offer and the courses within those, just to give parents that update, especially for our freshmen and sophomore students who may be thinking about a change in the pathway that they want to do. Maybe they're thinking about taking different courses next year. And because we have that happen, I mean, we have a lot of options that kids can dive into and find what they like. And so they have those to review again. We gave those in the fall too. And then also for seniors, there's a senior events flyer in there too. So just a little snapshot into what we will give families. We are going to have middle and high school teachers print off missing assignment reports as well for students, and there's an example of one of those in the high school packet. So that'll just give parents, again, another eye into, okay, well, this is what I need to be aware of, and the teachers can talk through opportunities that students have had for remediation and retakes on those type of things as well, and if the student is taking advantage of those or not, and next steps for that. So,
Ms. Barton, if a parent doesn't come that night, are these going to be mailed home or what?
yes, we have a plan for them to be mailed home the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll actually send them home with students because postage, we used to mail everything home. It's crazy. But we've had good success with sending them home. That's what we did in the fall too. We sent them home the day after, and that's great. And we also send out a reminder on rooms too to families that, hey, you can always access their grades through Parent Portal, and here's how you do that.
Okay,
So,
great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I wanted to say that this was first of all, I hadn't seen this, and so it makes me extremely proud of Ms. Parton. There's a lot of notes I wrote down, just that this is evidence of our hard work, but I also want the public to understand this is also evidence that we listen. I mean, we have heard since the beginning of the year that parents want more communication about their learning. They want to know, well, what does it mean when my student is a 10th grader? What do they need to graduate? This is our response, and I shouldn't say our, I'm not even going to put my name in it. It's Ms. Parton's response to the community request for more. And so I think that making sure families get this in their hand is huge. So maybe it's even that, hey, reminder, your kiddo is going to be bringing home a packet. You're going to want to see this. And then if we need to send home extra, we can. But I think, kudos to you. I think this was great. Perfect.
thank you guys.
Thank you. Do we have a WEA representative here tonight? Let the minutes show that no one was present. Are there any persons here that would like to address the board? Let the minutes show that no one is present tonight to address the board. We'll move on to the action items. The first action item is the approval of the FY '26 KITS second offer in the amount of $6,066. This has been recommended by Dalton Sizemore, our finance director. Dalton, do you have anything to say about this prior to us taking a vote?
No, this is the second offer. They normally give us two offers every year. First one for about 8,000, next one for 6,000. Those two numbers are reported on the TAR report, and then the state does their calculation as to what technology funding they're going to give to each district. We have to match what they match, or what they give us. So the first one's for 8,000 and some change, and then this one's for 6,000 and some change. I went ahead and made the journal adjustment. Once this gets approved tonight, I'll send it up to KDE. They'll approve it, and then they'll release those funds to us. And I'll put those in 160.
Thank you. Are there any questions regarding this?
No.
May I have a motion for the approval of the FY '26 KITS second offer?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The action item passed. We'll go to the second agenda item for the action. Approval of the capital funds request. Are there any comments you need on that for us?
I can explain it.
Okay?
So on the, I'll just. So the capital funds request is essentially telling us, or telling you all, based on the state equalization for a nickel and a regular FSPK, as well as our state, or as well as our local funding that we take from our tax base, move it from general fund into Fund 320, as well as the 310 fund that the state gives us of $70,808 or $808. All of that is combined with our escrow in there. You can see the top part of it at the very top. It talks about 310. That is our capital outlay. It shows our current amount, and then our two escrowed amounts. It adds those with the next column, which is our 320 fund. So if you look at SEEK, it's that bottom left-hand corner. It's the two state equalizations for our nickel and our FSPK, our two nickel equivalents for our local effort and our FSPK local. And it adds those in with our escrowed from previous years. And then we subtract our debt service, because we paid debt service out of those funds. And that leaves us with a total that I kind of broke down there. It'll be used to replenish the general fund for the John Deere Gator that we bought this year for maintenance. It'll go to buildings, facilities, and maintenance. And then I got to get with Mike on the restricted amounts. I believe it's about $300,000 on categories 1 and 2 of the district facility plan. Those are the only ones that we can spend it on. So if we've spent anything in the year, I need to get with Mike and see if that fits. Then I'll send it up to KD for approval, and I can go ahead and replenish the general fund for those amounts.
Dalton's given us quite a nice description. Are there any questions for him?
Nope.
All right. I need a motion for the approval of the capital funds request.
Motion.
In a second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. The motion carries. We'll move on to the third action item. It's approval of the 2026 senior trip to Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on March 28th and returning on April 3rd. Are there any questions about this?
Nope.
I'm very thrilled to know that we still do a senior trip. And I think that it provides a great opportunity for our students for now and then for memories later.
Do we have an idea how many are gonna be going this year?
So we have 74 seniors, is that right? Or 74. And the last I heard, it's the biggest amount that has gone in years past. So
That's
I
great.
feel like it's 40-ish.
Okay, that's great.
50? Yeah, I do too. It was in the 40s is what I knew.
That's
So it
wonderful.
is great. So over half of them are getting that opportunity. That's great.
Are there any questions regarding the trip? I need a motion for the approval of the 2026 senior trip.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. And the item passes. Moving on to the action agenda. Item 4.
You'll fix it.
Approval of the JAG trip to Salt Lake City, Utah for the JAG National Competition, April 29th through May 2nd. Are there any questions?
Nope.
May I have a motion to approve the JAG trip to Salt Lake City?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. And the action carries. 0 on 5. Approval of the MOA between Dayspring Health and Williamsburg Independent School for the 2026-2027 school year. Ms. Housekeeper, do you have anything that you need to add to that?
Nope, this was, we have Dayspring Health within our building, and actually, I talked with Dr. Thomas today. He was unable to be here tonight because he has his own board meeting, but I told him it's okay. I wanted him to come in the April meeting, and we celebrate our partnership. This was something that the board signed years ago, before I was ever superintendent, and I'm gonna tell you, Georgie Thomas has a heart for kids and has a heart for this building. And so I really want him to get the opportunity to brag on and celebrate the things that Dayspring has provided to us in this partnership. And so this is just a renewal of the MOA. It hadn't been renewed since 2017, I don't think. So this was just, we rewrote it, we took in consideration of our needs assessment and made sure that we tapped into our current needs of this group of students right now. And so we've made the decision that we would like to not let this be an ongoing MOA because we want it to meet the current needs. So every year we'll revisit this. Not to ever get rid of Dayspring, but just because we want it to be current.
Good idea.
Are there any questions regarding this? May I have a motion for the approval of the MOA between Dayspring Health and Williamsburg Independent School for the 2026-2027 school year?
Motion.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay.
No nays.
No nays.
I just want to do that
Let
once.
the minutes reflect no nays.
I just want to do that once.
And the motion carries. Approval of the 2026-2027 academic calendar. Let's see if
This
there's
was
anything
what
that
you
needs to
guys
be added to that.
reviewed last time, so it was, you had the first reading and the last board meeting, so if you all don't have any suggested changes, then, and you're ready to approve, that's okay. But we did, again, we listened to the community, we listened to you, we listened to our teachers, and we created that draft 5 that was kind of the middle ground for all of the things requested. It was increasing, our focus on instruction, decreasing them, still having professional learning days, but decreasing the number as stated in one of our previous meetings. And then definitely increasing instructional days with our students.
As described last time by Ms. Housekeeper and Mr. Aaron Brock, this committee has worked hard to try to accommodate the needs of our students as well as our community. I'd like to have a motion for the approval of the 2026-2027 academic calendar.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. The next action item is approval for track and field coach Chaz Jarbo to take Lane Jeffries, Zyler housekeeper, to Virginia Beach to compete in the Adidas Track Nationals on March 21st and 22nd. Are there any questions regarding this? I think it's grand that we have two students that have even been able to
Congratulations.
to go to
them.
that.
Yes.
Very much. Congratulations to both of these individuals and to our school, actually. Do we have any questions about anything? If not, I'd like to request that we have a motion for the approval of the track and field coach to take the students to Virginia Beach.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. The next item is the approval to amend the 2025-2026 school schedule to include a 1.10 administrative index to the Director of Nutrition position. Ms. Housekeeper, do you have anything that you'd like to add on that or not?
No, you guys have the rationale there in your notes, but we discussed this, but it was the only district level leadership position that didn't have an admin index, and so what we've learned is Ms. Dina works well beyond her contracted time, and so we have we've spent a lot of money on overtime, and this was actually initiated by her. She said, "You're paying me so much overtime, I would like for us to reconsider something." She said, "I need to make less money." I said, "That's not happening, Dina." And so, because that's just how selfless she is. And so we actually looked at, for reference, if you look at the Fair Labor Standards Act, we kind of looked at what that entails, and we did notice last year when we set the salary schedule that Director of Nutrition had an admin index, and it just allows them to work beyond that contracted time without having to keep track of their hours, but also it does save with overtime pay. So this was initiated by Dina Davis, I can tell you.
I don't doubt that.
No, I don't doubt it
That's
either.
just how she rolls.
Do we have any questions regarding this? Okay. If not, then I would ask for a motion for the approval to amend the salary schedule to include an admin index for the Director of Nutrition.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. That concludes all of the action items, and we'll go to the consent agenda. And all the, let's see. Do I have to name those?
You can just say that.
Yep. All those items on the consent agenda are the monthly financial report, the treasurer's report, monthly balance sheet, the February orders of the Treasury, and fundraisers. Do we have any questions about any of that?
Nope.
Then I would ask for a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. We'll move on to committee reports. Mr. Sizemore, do you have anything as far as taxes for us? Okay, thank you.
So for the month of February, we collected 27 tax bills totaling $27,599.07. Prior to February, we've collected 1,410 bills for $1,135,540.26. Total collections to date, that adds our February total and our prior to February total, which puts us at 1,437 bills for a total of $1,158,044. We have 10 exonerations totaling $14,721.15. And outstanding as of February 28th, we have 320 bills still left outstanding for a total of $130,076.63. As compared to last year at this time, our collection percentage for this year is 82.36%. Last year at this time it was 82.78. It's a 0.42% decrease from last year, but trends are still staying the same. On those three graphics, it still shoots up, kind of plateaus off, and then kind of dies down towards the end of the year. And as far as bills, everything is following trend as it was last year when we compared it from 23 to 24. Some finance updates. The AFR has been submitted successfully, the audited financial report to KDE through the SEEK site. And then our auditor has sent the audit report to KDE.
Are there any questions for Dalton?
Thank you.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Staffing updates, Ms. Carrie Hamlin.
This month, we have hired Tara Davis, instructional aide, Savannah Sams, instructional aide, Brooklyn Volgamore, substitute, Amy Bargo, substitute, Meredith Smitty, substitute, Laura Teague, substitute, Austin Fox, substitute, Lexi Abner, substitute, Noah Atkins, substitute, and Susie Wilson, who is a rehire in the cafeteria. And for resignations, we have Kayla Rose, that was an instructional assistant.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Hamlin? Okay. Are there any board reports? Or any board comments?
Nope.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
Aye.
and those opposed nay. This meeting is adjourned.